Ladies and gentlemen, what's good? We're back with another Call of Duty mobile video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. So as a lot of you guys have probably seen, there were no actual balance changes on the way into Season 3 of Call of Duty Mobile, but we did get a new gun in the PP-19 Bison, and even though on first impression I didn't really think it was going to be that good, I've actually changed my mind, especially after trying the gun out a little bit more and also looking at the way that it's used in competitive. It's actually been banned in the majority of the competitive matches that we've played so far. For those of you who don't know, each team is allowed to ban one gun, and typically it has been the PP-19 and one other gun. So because of that, we actually do have a new top 5 guns in Call of Duty Mobile, which we're going to be going over today. If you guys find this video helpful, please do me a huge favor. Make sure to subscribe to the squad if you haven't already, and also make sure to drop a like down below. Without any more talking, we're going to go ahead and hop into it. So coming in at number 5, we've actually got a tie between 3 different guns. These 3 are ones that I've had a tough time categorizing in the past just because they vary so much based on skill level, but they're extremely powerful and in the hands of a really good player next to unstoppable. Those 3 guns are going to be the Outlaw, the Locust, and the DLQ. Now in the past, I have tended to put these in the honorable mention category because, like I said, they do have a very high skill gap, but since we didn't get the nerf to snipers that we were expecting this season, all snipers can still ADS pretty much as fast as just about any SMG in the game, and all of them can one-shot at pretty much any range with varying degrees of difficulty. First, we got what is, in my opinion, the best search and destroy sniper, and that is going to be the DLQ. Now, the DLQ is really good for search and destroy because it's all about one-on-one encounters. The DLQ of these 3 guns does have the worst mobility, but because a lot of times you're going to be position sniping, that's not going to impact you as much. With the right attachments, the DLQ can actually ADS just as fast as the Locust, and if you put stopping power on the Locust, the DLQ actually ADS is even faster. Combine that with the fact that when you put stopping power on the Locust, it has the same lethal zones as the DLQ. It actually makes it so that the DLQ is the better search and destroy sniper. The Outlaw and the Locust are the 2 best respawn snipers, and that really does come down to preference. If you're an extremely aggressive sniper, you like to play up close and personal, and love to quick scope, the Outlaw is definitely the gun for you. It pretty much has the same lethal zones as the Locust without stopping power from 0 to 30 meters. The one big downside that affects the Outlaw is that from 30 meters and beyond, you're not going to be able to one-tap if you hit them in the hands and the forearm area. And while that doesn't sound like as big of a deal as it would be, the thing is, whenever you are face-to-face with another player and they're holding their gun right here, that typically tends to take up a lot of the torso where you would normally have a lethal zone for a sniper. And even though 30 meters sounds like a really long ways, it's typically further than you're going to be taking the average sniper fight, since most people are going to try to keep their distance from snipers. On the flip side, you do have the Locust, which I actually prefer to use without stopping power and with FMJ. To me, it's the best option for an in-between sniper that you don't necessarily want to full push every gunfight, but you also don't have to worry about the fact that it has really bad mobility. The Locust has way better mobility than the DLQ does, and even though you don't have the same lethal zones whenever you take off stopping power, having FMJ makes it so you can make some really cool highlight plays. Next up at number 4, we've got the DRH. So I've pretty much had it in my top 5 guns ever since Gunsmith came into the game. It's always been a really solid option. Obviously, if you are going to use the DRH, the OTM mag is a must-have. The DRH is without a doubt the best aggressive assault rifle in the game because with an accurate shot, you have the ability to 3-shot as long as you hit 1 shot to the upper body where it's going to hit for 38. And even though it has pretty bad bullet spread, it is really, really good up at close range because when you're hitting that 1 upper body shot, there are not really a whole lot of guns that are going to be able to outgun it, and because it has decent mobility and ADS time, you don't have to worry as much about getting outgunned by SMGs at close range. You do have to keep in mind that the monolithic suppressor and the no stock for assault rifles have both been nerfed, but the strike stock and the Ranger barrel are definitely 2 really good options to honestly be able to extend the range of the DRH and make it viable not only in the mid-range but in the long range as well. This gun can really dominate and is definitely one of the top options for most pro players whenever it comes to competitive Call of Duty Mobile. It's versatile because it can be built a number of different ways, whether you want to be really fast and up close with bad bullet spread, or maybe tone down the mobility a little bit and give yourself the option to be able to take long-range gunfights. Coming in at number 3, we have the former number 1 gun in Call of Duty Mobile, and that is going to be the Man-O-War. Don't get me wrong, the Man-O-War is still ridiculously good. It is without a doubt the best ranged rifle in the game. With the right attachments on there, you can still 3-tap it 30 to 40 meters, which is just absolutely ridiculous. But last season we did have a nerf to the Man-O-War where they nerfed not only the huge suppressor, but also the short barrel. Most people when building out the Man-O-War would typically use those two in conjunction because the huge suppressor does slow down your ADS time and mobility a lot, but it gives you a 40% range boost. Now the short barrel works really well with it because when you got a 40% range boost, you don't really need to add a whole lot else on there, and you want to go for his mobility as much as possible. With those two nerfed, there's actually a lot of players that are now starting to throw a red dot on it because it does increase your visibility a lot more and make it so that you can take long range gunfights, and throwing on a barrel like the Ranger or the Marksman, which does still allow you to range stack a little bit. The gun was so good that North America and EU both voted to actually ban it completely from competitive play, which is why you're not ever going to see pro players using it. But honestly, that just goes to show you how freaking good the gun is. It will struggle up close a little bit because of those nerfs to the mobility and the ADS time, but you can still outgun most other guns at close range, and you're going to absolutely dominate at long range. Coming in at number 2, we have not had an SMG in my top 5 guns in a hot minute, but it's actually going to be the brand new gun to Call of Duty Mobile, the PP-19. Like I mentioned earlier, at first glance, I didn't think the PP-19 was going to be all that good because it doesn't have a crazy high rate of fire. Call of Duty Mobile had actually mentioned coming into the update that it was going to be able to 3-shot, and that's not the case with any type of range or any type of magazine. But it truly is a completely different breed of gun because it's essentially an LMG mixed with an SMG with the range of an assault rifle. This thing is insanely versatile, and in the hands of an accurate shooter, this will dominate. I was actually surprised to see that in the first Mobile Mayhem that I casted for North America, the very first matchup that we had was almost all PP-19s because our number 1 gun was actually banned from the game. Even though it doesn't have the fastest time to kill in the game, it has really good range, pretty much no recoil, so you can build it just about any way that you want. And because it's an SMG, it already has really good ADS time and mobility. Combine that with the fact that the base magazine has a 64 round mag, and you basically have all the upsides of all the gun categories in one gun. If you throw the OTM mag on there, it also eliminates any type of lower body multiplier, so you're gonna hit the same amount of damage to the foot as you are to the upper chest. This thing can shred from pretty much any range with a 64 round base mag. You're gonna be able to pre-fire a lot more corners and also have a much better chance at winning gunfights against multiple players because you don't have to worry as much about running out of ammo, because even though it doesn't have a crazy fast rate of fire, it is still a 4-shot at a pretty good range, so you're not going to run out of ammo as quickly. And then last but absolutely not least, we do have our number 1 gun, and that's going to be the QQ9. It would definitely be an understatement to say that COD Mobile went a little bit overboard whenever they were buffing this in the mid-season balance changes. The QQ9 was already on the brink of being a meta-viable gun. It was really only 3-shot ARs that was keeping it out. In the update where Call of Duty Mobile nerfed the Man-O-War, they upgraded the range, the mobility, the hipfire, and the recoil on the QQ9. Yeah, they pretty much buffed it in every way, shape, or form. Something you're probably going to notice whenever you go up against a QQ9 player is that their strafe speed is incredibly fast. To be honest, it blows every other strafe speed out of the water in the entire game. When you couple that with the fact that when you build it out properly, you can actually 4-shot from a decent range, it has a faster rate of fire than the PP-19, and the 45-round mag has little to no downside, you just have an all-out shredding machine. I think there's only been 1 or 2 matches in the entire season of Mobile Mayhem where the QQ9 has not been banned, and when it wasn't banned, pretty much both teams were 5-stacking with it. I've got a feeling there's probably a nerf coming to this soon, but in the meantime, definitely make sure to enjoy it because this is without a doubt the best gun in Call of Duty Mobile. Nothing's gonna beat it in the close range because of the ADS time and the time to kill. You can still shred in the mid range because it has very low recoil and you can stack damage like crazy. And even in the long range, you still got a shot at outgunning some ARs. But that is going to round out our top 5 guns in Call of Duty Mobile. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you found this helpful, please do me a huge favor. Make sure to drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe to the squad if you haven't already. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.